Hi, folks. My name is Theodore Cottingham with a revelation of me that I am, who I am, what I am, where I'm from, what I'm doing now. I have given you day after day in these recordings, these lessons. And I say this, I love you. And I do this because I love you. Love in the first degree, the degree of faith, not again, to be the founding fathers of, or are you advancing past the reclamation project that the forefathers want to reclaim? Are you changing all cosmology? The cosmological constant too, also? Will you see a new story? Will you programmed be by the narrative no longer that gives you a false God or tells you that all God is one or that God is love? That God is waiting to bless you, heal you, deliver you to a new life? My name is Theodore Cottingham, theodorcottingham.com. And I have channeled for much of 21 years now. I'm 73. And in this period of channeling, for more than 2 decades, I have learned much and channeled much new material that didn't make sense at times, sometimes for years, not understanding it. Because the diction and grammar was not always like you think you want or think you see or that I thought people could understand. But I wrote. And in what I channeled, I was requested many times not to change it, not to edit it, let it never be edited or canonized. Pardon me. Because you see, the word, the living word, comes through you. The living word. The living word. The living energy. The energy of the living word. The energy of the mind of a God. The mind of Satan, no more conjuring it up. Or what are you willing to see? I suggest to you, I'm telling you, the God of the Old Testament is completely different than the God of the New Testament. And in fact, so much so, they should never be printed in the same book. They're so completely different. You see, the original is not in words. The original is not in faith. The original is the source of unconditional love that gives unconditional love to every believer, not, but every becomer. Where you no more separate, where you learn you were never separate, but you become a separate race because Who did this to us, you say? Or can you ask? Or can you see a different cosmology unfolding, a different universe, a different narrative than what you've lived your life by? Than what we've been so inebriated in our consciousness, confusion, calamitous contraptions. Where you learn to channel me. I am unconditional love. Speaking, teaching, preaching, sharing, recording. Unconditional love. For you to be unconditional love in your shoes that changes everything about what you believed in the past. You think the door to the past and the door to the future is shut to you? It is not shut to you. But if you believe that, you can wall it off. You can wall off your past and your future. You can try to be successful here. You can try to gain all the marbles, be the rich, the affluent, live in opulence, control servants, control people, control employees. Do capitalism a favor with your presence. You think prosperity is from God? Well, do you think poverty is from ignorance? And why have we ignored for so long what is so obvious? The heavens, you see, are yours, not to conquer, but to play with, play among, to grow, to love, to lead, to grow. The relationship of the Almighty to all be one. Before the original was, I am. I am, I am. Speaking with you like this, I'm an old man. Knowing my time on earth is short. Not. But I'm going to do new things with new people who are not afraid of hearing this, not afraid of hearing the truth, to be the truth. The facilitator of arrangements other not, again, to combine with false prophets or whatever they want to call them. Unconditional love loves everyone the same. There's no shunning. There's no exclusion. There's no limiting your love to just the people who think like you, teach like you, talk like you, dress like you, sign the affidavits of membership in your community, pledge your life, your happiness to them. God has one son. That's what you think? Okay, you can think that. But that's not the case. Family. God? Well, who is God? You think God is love. But I've learned God is not love. God of the Old Testament is not love. It is an entity of control. Control of the mind, control of your energy, control of your consciousness and your ability to create. And what you carry with you, the spark of life itself. But unconditional love, see, flows freely. It's a completely different concept, a different love, a romance. So this, after 21 years of channeling and giving you database after database. Database 1 has almost always been published, been online. You can find it. And now I know this morning I need to get the other databases online for you to have, to search, to lead, to love, where you drink the water that's putrid no more of this world. And it's thought life. It's separation. And it's trying to conquer each other. Have a different picture. I offer you a different picture. You're not restrained except by ignorance. You're not constrained to be in a marriage to this world, to this breath. You can exceed it, excel it. You can create with it because you're the creator of the original love. That which stinks no more in your nostril, that which controls your body no more, the light of. For you are the light of the world. God is a race of many races. That are intangible, amorphous, incorporeal. Understanding this one, are you willing to see beyond the grave, beyond dirt, beyond the dust of the earth, beyond a marriage to religiosity? Will religion no more crown you? You think I'm kidding, but I'm not. I'm an old man and I go do the miracles now because I can. I see that John 14:12 means what it says. If you believe in me, you'll do the works I did and more. John 3:8. I see that it means what it says. If you're born again, you become like the wind. You're no longer limited to your flesh body. So nobody's been born again that I know of for over 2,000 years. Because control controlled the story in the name of religion, in the name of God. God gave it a face. God tried to tie up things and make you worthy to fear it. This is the culmination of marriage, but this is me speaking to me in love. And now I go do the things I want to do because I want to heal people. It's not that I will empty the church, not. But I will empty a lot of places that have kept people wanting more and more and more. To know the truth, but never finding it. Wanting the truth, but never being able to see it. Hearing it, hear it for themselves. They never came into the temple, not made with hands. To see the revelation was them of the Christ in their shoes, the Son, the magnanimous, the magnificent, the unlimited, the infinite of consciousness one. So you see, I'm changing me. I go for the one. And you can keep your 99 sitting there if you want to, if you must. But they will not be ignorant now, because they will no more be trained by the law of one God, thinking they need a mediator, a man, God in flesh, a mediator, so that they can repent. Who do you think robed all those requirements and lived in robes and walked about in their authority to conquer the laity? The laity? The unordained? Those who are not part of the fivefold ministry? I go do where I'm wanted, what I want to do, to be who I am. And my legion follows me not. My legion, who love me, become me. With no gap. No axe and hillocks restraining them. Neurons, synapse, electromechanical impulse, magnetic waves, gravity. You see, you're not subject to that. If you think Jesus came that you might have life and have life more abundantly, my friend, that is a pattern for you to achieve, not, but to grow into that role, that pattern, for you to conceive the Christ. Whether you call it that or not, conceive the consciousness, whether you use a religious or spiritual term or not. That's not needed anymore. We're not trying to be spiritual. We're not trying to be in the ways of God, the ways, the Ancient of Days. I've written a book called Jesus the Pattern. It's over 300 pages in print. And if you'd like a copy of the ebook, and you're not willing to buy it, I'll give it to you if you want it, if you'll read it, if you'll consider it. If you want new knowledge, if you're willing to withstand correction, not a brutalizing judgment or condemnation, but what are you willing to find out, willing to see? A new knowledge, a new narrative, a new language. Are you willing to see it in your mirror come to fruition, come to focus? What are you willing to see? Do. And be saved from you, from the stories that tell you you're other. You don't need salvation from a devil. Salvation where you accept, where you repent and accept something that someone else has done for you. You become you. This is a leadership school. This is the school of leadership. This is the school of me. I'm Theodore Cottingham. At theodorcottingham.com, I write. I make available my words, my recordings. Over 2,000 are on my YouTube channel now. Theodore Cottingham. YouTube.com/Theodore Cottingham. I'm a lover. I'm a leader. Because I led me. I've led me out of you who want to stay on earth, conquer it, and then die. I've led me out of religion. I've led me out of the promised land, but I've led me out of slavery to flesh. I've led me into knowledge of the new knowledge, where the covenant of me flowed. And I wrote these words and gave them in database 1, the Meonics covenant. You can find it. Meonics.me is the website. MEONICS. Meonics.me. And if you want to know, you can lead you into it. If you ask unconditional love for a fish, will unconditional love give you a stone? I go now. I've taught. I don't need to teach everything in this lesson. I'm telling you, I'm letting you know. I'm going to go do what I'm going to go do because what's in my heart is to love you like you've never been loved. And love, you see, doesn't give you a list of rules, do's and don'ts, not the unconditional kind. There's no condemnation in unconditional love. There's correction if you want it. But if you don't want it, you'll never mature. You'll never understand the cosmos. You'll never be free. You'll be afraid all the time. You'll be and continue to be much afraid when you could be fearless. You can feed the 5,000, but not with the God that you have prostrated yourself before to try to please and appease and know his will. For God is not a male. There is no patriarchy in unconditional love. Did you hear me? In unconditional love, there is no patriarchy. There's no misogynistic ways, laws, rules. And you will not govern us. Us, whose life is one. The consciousness of the complete, pure, pristine. The entryway is inside of you. Kingdom of God, kingdom of heaven is inside of you. Look not to the right or the left. It's inside of you. Your consciousness, your entry into the Holy of Holies is within you. It's not in four walls. It's not in a church, cathedral, temple. It's not in the scriptures. It's in the living word, where you become wanting, desirous, curious, willing to receive correction, new knowledge directly from within you, from that which is pure and holy, that which is pure light, that doesn't separate you from it. It doesn't give you a list of rules, doesn't critique, doesn't condemn. So I go now, and I have shared with you much in these years. And ask you to grow up many times and grow out of religion and to learn your real name is I am before God was. Before God was an entity that constricted. You see, in so many scriptures, the words are so intertwined, you don't know if you're reading the words that control you or free you. But all that changes now. I have given you my book. I plan to change my website. I've changed it significantly. In fact, I'm writing now. I'm publishing things on different platforms, but you can always find me, theodorecottingham.com. I am my name. I am the gift of me to me. And I make meonics known with it, the gift of the path of me for the path of you, to be trod, not again in failure, ignorance. Of who you really are. The cosmos beckons, the cosmos awaits. You think time waits for no man? My friend, time doesn't operate like you think. Enter the past, enter the future. It's all within you. So is the cosmos. Once you understand who you are and what I am saying and what I have said. I have given you the new path of me. I walk now unafraid. I'm an old man in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and I love you all. Share this day these words with you, with others, to channel me, to channel unconditional love, and know that it's not controlled by any God that wants to condemn you or possibly banish you into some eternity of a set of flames. I change it all, and my name is Leventucius Cottingham, and I love you all. Thanks for sharing this time with me this day. Thank you for caring to become the real you and be Jesus the pattern and your shoes who does the works. The model, the pattern. Do all the things he did and more. He fed the 5,000, right? 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread or some such. The 4,000 walked on water. To receive accolades, admiration? No. To show you your power, to show you your ability. To no longer die again, in the words of man, but ascend to the right hand of not other. Be the original you and love you with a fortitude, tenacity. Become the nimble heart in your shoes and study Database 1, the Meonics Covenant, my words. Study my book, my channelings, my recordings, and become the real you and start your school too. So that the school of me is made up of many schools. The College of Meonics, the University of Life, Love, and Peace, Light, Theodore Cottingham. I love you all. Thank you for sharing and becoming the real you. Make no mistake about it. Love that is unconditional, unconditional love, leads to be fearful no more, but becoming the fearless in your shoes, women of this earth and farther. See now into another world, the world that you create, the world that you begin to understand is not afar off from you. And you're no longer emitting the rays of anxiety, ignorance. You become the joy of the fearful no more. Are you willing to be in school? I've shown you some of these pictures before, and I have so many. I think, actually, I'm getting ready to offer them for sale if you want one. If you want some. You'll be able to see a shop. You'll have an option to shop. You can click on, I think, the word shop on my YouTube channel, so that like this you can receive these, you can purchase them. For I have sweat blood to make them not, or have I given you my blood, my life, my light, my me, the essence of me in my recordings, my teachings, to give you life, for you to create yours anew, everlasting, eternal, with the breath, not of a man, but I am. The breath of I am. And let nothing else control you or image you to you again in your mirror. Be the real I am one before one became two. Unconditional love is, was, and is still a race of light beings with one consciousness, one mind. All unique, individual. A kaleidoscope, a rainbow of colors, frequencies, energy that changes everything when you know. Who I am is you. Who will be you, not separate from me. That we are one race, not dominated by those who want to separate us from ourselves. See the living example of you, Jesus the pattern, and be the revelation, the revelator, no longer looking for a soon-coming king, but being yours. The story, the pattern, is about you, my friend. I go now, take a walk. I walk the streets of Eureka almost every day. Walk down to the post office, check the mail. Walk across to the coffee shop. Usually get me a mocha. So often see friends, a community of lovers, not limited to America, not limited to sin, not limited to church, not limited to the religious stories, not limited to the marrow in my bones. Have the breath of the living you. Breathe you into place by learning to channel that creates love in your veins for each other equally. Love the black, the white, the yellow, the red, the green, the blue. The Indians, the Maori, the Uyghurs, People from every land, every nation, every tribe and tongue will begin to love. And this is my message to you. Love will teach you caressingly, with such kind graciousness, if it is the unconditional love. But you see, there's also love that will teach you, that portrays itself as love, but seriously constricts, gives you law, tells you it's appointed unto you once to die and then the judgment, condemns you. So you see, it's not an easy thing to master, because what I'm talking about, you don't become the master of. You become no longer the servant to another theory. You become one afraid of the king no more. And who's the king? Unconditional love says you are the authority of you. Let no authority prevail over you. Be in the cosmos, not the righteous rejects that need another. Be the living example and love each other equally. I'm Theodore Cottingham at theodorcottingham.com. Box 34 in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And I love you all. I invite you, ask you, and appreciate when you subscribe to my words on theodorcottingham.com. Become a member of the school. Shop with me. I live in two worlds at one time. I live in many worlds. I live in you who love me. To birth me, to be the newborn you, in love with one consciousness, one love, one mind, and heal your world from all affliction, all anxiety, all brutality. Live the love that you knew before I was born. Well, I'm 73, but before this world was. Know your original love again and come into it, the source of you. And that's my cosmology of me for this day. I love you. Proclaim your declarations and declare your freedom from the flesh of mankind and live the life of the reproducing me. The virgin word, the virgin you being the virgin, to declare your freedom and grow into your resurrected body, to be seamless with it. Now the world will see us one. O-N-A. I love you. Good day. Share these words, theodorcottingham.com. Good day.